Hey everyone, this is Lori Carvelli with 3 Keys Astrology, and I am dressed in my thug gear again. I rarely wear black, um, but I'm coming back in November 2020 to talk to you about the sign Scorpio. When you're all finished with this video, look on the channel, this channel, and I hope you've subscribed. It's really easy. Subscribe, hit that notification button, and you'll be informed whenever I produce a new video for all of you. And most especially my members of 3 Keys Astrology. If you're not yet a member, come on over to our Facebook group to join us. So today's subject is dark, and I want you to pay particular attention if you're a Taurus or a Scorpio. I produced for the channel November 2020 videos for all signs, and I've also given you a monthly horoscope, but I've always given you weekly horoscopes, so pay good attention to those. If any of your 3 keys are in Scorpio or in Taurus, Lori, what are my 3 keys, you say, if you're new to the channel? Come on over to our Facebook group. I gift everyone a free mini reading so that you indeed know your 3 keys. 3 keys entail the 2 lights of your personality, your sun and your moon. That's that part of yourself that the whole world can see, the sun, and that part of yourself that is reserved for your private life, your moon. And then your rising sign is how you meet and greet the world at large, and how you do life as you go through the wheels of time and the changes of time. That is life. Your 3 keys are really important, and when you know your 3 keys, or the 3 keys of a situation, of the people in your life, whether it's your family, your friends, or in your intimate adult life, when you know those 3 keys, and that's why you hire me to be your personal astrologer, doors unlock. If you find keys and you don't know what they belong to, you never get through the door. But if you unlock little by little the knowledge, this esoteric knowledge that is 4,000 years old of astrology, holy crow, you have insight, understanding, and doors open, and life's not so unlocked or mysterious anymore. That's what keys are for. So you can come to my website, 3keysastrology.com, 3 the digit keysastrology.com, and with a click of PayPal, you are welcome to begin life with an astrologer. And I can tell you from personal experience, wow. I wish I would have known these things when I was 18 years old. So gift your family and friends birth chart readings. Everything starts there. After that, I have a donate button on the channel. Once you've gotten your birth chart reading, you can ask me astrological questions. I welcome them, and I offer all kinds of readings. The subject that we're going to talk about today is Scorpio, primarily. And because Scorpio is about power, sex, money, control, and ultimately mastery, that's why I encourage you to go see the Tale of 2 Scorpios video on the website. But this video in particular is not about that ultimate transformation. Scorpio looks like an M with an arrow pointing upward because it indeed is ultimately about mastery. But the guts and blood of what Scorpio is what we're going to talk about today. And it's dark. It's deep. It is the most maligned sign in the zodiac. And if you have any of your 3 keys in Scorpio, you will encounter major life changes. You will have known death, and it's very possible that upon your birth, when your mother was pregnant with you, somebody important in the family had some kind of encounter, whether it was just the passing of life, but it's often dark things. If any of your 3 keys are in Scorpio, you will have family secrets. There are skeletons. There are things that may be buried very, very deep generationally. So, especially any of you with your 3 keys in astrology. Most importantly, those of you born in recent times, from November 1971 until January 1995, you have a very strong affiliation with what Scorpio is. So, it got incredibly strong in May 1983. Things peaked, and they got really powerful and scorpionic in the winter, most especially February 1984 through June 1995. And I want you to look back on those years. If you're old enough, if you were born then, ask your parents about life. What was life like back then? And so let's get into this. Let's talk about Scorpio. Scorpio is dark. It's malicious. It's maligned. And it's on that axis of power. That's what it's all about. So it's elimination. All elimination. Whether you're talking about the processes in your body or the dynamics between two people. It is kill or be killed energy. And it depends on the situation that you're in. But when you think about what fights are about, or any kind of cruelty or any kind of control, it's an elimination process. It's one person saying, I'm stronger than you, I'm bigger than you, I'm meaner than you, I can control you, I've got power over you, and I'm going to take something away from you. And that's tough. And like I said, unfortunately, all of you born between November 1971 until that summer of 95, you are in the teeth of it, stuck in its claws. And somehow, some way, and I, as your astrologer, can help you begin the process of understanding what this is. But I so encourage you not to be afraid. Be brave. Scorpio's bravery, and in the Tale of Two Scorpio, we talk about the process that is those two M's of going up and being on top of it, and then falling back down and being in the pits of hell, and then going back up again and trying to get out of it, but falling back down again in its clutches, trenches, on where hell is in your life, until that arrow says, I've mastered this. That's what the Tale of Two Scorpios explains, because it's about transformation. It's about the shock and hell of somebody overpowering you somewhere, some way, somehow in your life, and taking away from you your power, your strength, your values. And it's being down on the floor in the darkest parts of life and feeling powerless and humiliated and ashamed to that point of, wait a minute, I don't have to live like this. No one's got the right to steal my sunshine, my moonlight, and the way that I'm going to live my life. You have one life, this life, and it's the most precious God-given gift you have, but your life is fragile. It's but a breath. And in 2020, boy, we've learned that more than we ever have before during this epidemic. So let's talk about how nuclear and bombastic unhinged Scorpio is. And again, I repeat, if any of your 3 keys are in Scorpio, or anybody that you love has his or her 3 keys in Scorpio, there is a very dark and hidden self. And unless you've gone through therapy, and psychotherapy is very Scorpio. Psychotherapists have a strong connection to that Scorpio process of helping you bring up what's hidden, dark, secretive, and to the light, because that's the only place where all things Scorpio can be healed. So don't be ashamed. It's the best thing you've ever done for yourself. It is that key that unlocks the power within, and that's also very Scorpio. So Scorpio is bloody. It's bruises. It's the black and blue of the beating of oneself. And whether it's self-inflicted, but it's usually not. It's usually between two people. It's the black and blue and brutality of situations with others. And that's why that access between Scorpio and Taurus is so important. Taurus is most likely the victim of the brutality that is Scorpio. And so it's about sex, money, but it's about death. And mark my words, wherever Scorpio is in your horoscope, something died. Something has to die. There's something buried that's very deep and very personal. Scorpio is a water sign, and it's mixed. And it speaks of secrets. Secrets that are about money and sex and sexuality and life and death matters. Scorpio is your worst nightmare. It's nightmares, it's blood curdling screams, it's suspicion, it's madness, it's the criminally insane, it's crimes of sex. It's very violent, the most violent. It's about murder and killing and obsession, cruelty, and it's your unrestrained superhuman strength. But it's danger. It's where you'll encounter this force. And it's a force. And it's where you'll be taken to hell. And it's where you're called to master and uncover and turn the floodlights on of what's dark. And don't be afraid. That is the only way. That's the only key to set you free of anything that's dark, hidden, at Scorpio. So, that's the reason I'm dressed in black. Scorpio has its affinity to things that you can't see. It is the crime that goes on in the dark of night. It is what's hidden under the covers. It is when the lights go out at home and what goes on behind closed doors that people suspect but aren't sure of. So, people that are off balance and in the clutches, in the teeth of the evil that is Scorpio are relentless. They're vengeful. They hate. And they want to destroy. And these feelings inside of them are hotter than hell. And they are derived of the evil that is hell. So it's indulgence. It's obsession. It's that stalker. It's that killer. It's that person that's demonic and diabolical. And so it's the part of you that you would die if others knew this about you. So again, if any of your three keys, sun, moon, rising sign, are in Scorpio, you're hiding something and you've got big secrets. And there's a part of you that's so shadowy and dark that you don't want anybody else to know about. So I am going to ask you to really do some self-examination and say, what am I hiding? What underworld am I participating in? Am I participating in a drug-induced underworld? Do I hide from everyone else and keep secret this part of me that's so damaged and destroyed that I desire to be out of my mind, medicated with drugs? Am I part of a sexual, secretive circle? Am I playing games of domination and control? Am I hiding and obsessed with pornography? Or am I part of that sex slave trade? Do I sell myself because I have no personal value? Or am I such a control freak that my family's afraid of me? Am I that mother or that father that beats my children, my family, that does things unspeakable to my own flesh and blood? Are you on the razor's edge? Is that how you live your life? Because if you are, you're very involved with things that are Scorpio. You feel like you're bleeding profusely inside and that nobody knows what's going on. And what part of you needs to be free? what Scorpio conditions need to be brought to the light so they're no longer hidden, so that you don't have to be ashamed or feel guilty. What Scorpio means is that it's a time for change. And that's the mastery that happens that I describe and talk about in A Tale of Two Scorpios. So, Scorpio is about destroying and killing something. It's an end, there's a finality. But if you take control and examine your three keys and say, what three parts of me are dark, are stalkerish, are obsessed, want vengeance, control? What three parts of me, what three parts of me has someone taken away where they're overpowering me, where I feel helpless, where I feel a victim, where I feel like I can't go on, where I want to kill myself, where I just can't bear this anymore, and so I'm numbing myself with alcohol, drugs, or sex. It's really important that you face these things, because when you bring them up to light, when you make that phone call and call that therapist or write down in a personal diary these parts of you that feel like you're black and blue, are bruised, need healing, are bleeding, are suffering. When you call someone and get that help, that's when you turn the floodlights on and the shadows go away. And through a process that is very Scorpio and all about mastery, that M of the ups and downs, to that final arrow where, oh my God, this amazing scorpionic process happens in psychotherapy. I've experienced it after a tragic accident that crushed the bones in my body, broke my jaw. It's hard to see on this side of my face. This mandible bone is broken right off of my face. My jaw was dislocated on both sides of my face. And my thoughts, because of traumatic brain injury, were so inaccessible, and focus destroyed. And through the process, with an incredible psychotherapist, things that were buried deep down in my psyche and my soul from age 3 years old came back, bubbling up from the deepest, darkest, most painful parts of my life. Things that I never acknowledged, did not know about, things that were buried, started to come up kind of like the slides of a movie. And I don't want to cry, but it was incredible. And when you're with a therapist that's skillful and trained and intelligent, what goes on is kind of a movie of your life and this freedom that comes up. It was, for me, it felt like a dirty washing machine cycle, and it was exhausting, but so illuminating. And and nightmares that I had from the time I was a little girl that were these little, I would wake up in cold sweats, and it was the same theme for my entire life. And at this point in psychotherapy, and it took a long time, but at this point of freedom, those nightmares stopped, and they have never returned. And that's the incredible process that is Scorpio as well. And so please don't feel like you have to wear this cloak of shame or guilt or feel terrible about someone or something in your own family or with somebody that you shared intimacy with, because believe me when I tell you, it's the most incredible thing in the world, and you are set free. You will have those keys, mind, body, and soul, that are rebirth, and you won't be subject anymore to anyone trying to wield power control over you. What unfortunately happens in your life is that those people, it's It's kind of a magnetic attraction between the crime and its victim. And criminals know who to target. And it's the same thing with demonic forces or evil that can come in the form of substances or those people that manipulate and control with substances or sexuality, which is a very alchemical process between two people. And we get joined. And that's that Scorpio and Taurus relationship and connection. So hell hates the bright lights, guys. Hell hates sunshine. Hell hates it when you wear white, when you go to church. And hell hates and people who control and live life like this on that razor's edge that are criminal, that get empowered and grow bigger and bigger and stronger with manipulation and control. They hate it when you talk. They hate it when you go to the therapist. They hate it when they're found out. They hate it when the policeman comes. So please know that is one of your three keys. So I want you to think very hard and not be afraid. Not be afraid to say, where am I lying? What am I hiding? Why am I living in fear? Why do I let so and so control me? You don't have to be ashamed anymore because Scorpio and the process of psychotherapy that is alchemy, that therapist is an alchemist and he does know how to unlock those deep dark secrets. In my case, it was 47 years, I think, buried, or 43 or 5 or something like that. I mean, I just didn't know. Other people, best friends, would suggest. And then it all came back and it was as clear as a bell. And images that were verifiable and family that was still alive that I could ask about the color of that car and that car door and that time back in 1965. So it's a very cool process, and that's what Scorpio is. Those slides of our lives, that film of our life, that remembering. And that's where the untapped gold is. And that's the beauty of the transformation that is Scorpio. That what gets to die, in my case, nightmares. And where fear is finally the light comes shining on what you were afraid of. So face that shame, face those secrets, acknowledge that you need help because that's okay. That makes you stronger. So I just want to really quickly at the end of this video to tell you again, please, all of you especially, born in that November 1971 through January 1995, we are seeing Pluto in Capricorn in our year 2020 right now. We're seeing the power that Pluto is, and he's powerful no matter what sign he's in. And as your personal astrologer, I'm happy to help you begin that process of transformation. I am not a trained psychotherapist. I did go to college with that intention way back when I graduated high school and realized within the first semester of college that I was too emotional to disconnect myself from your feelings and your pain and your suffering. And I'm 58 and a half years old and I still struggle really hard with I can't break that connection. I feel too much when other people are suffering. So I knew that would be a huge problem for me to sit in therapy. I would have wanted to jump off the building with you. And I would have wanted to beat up the person that was hurting you. My feelings were too powerful and too strong to be in that part of it, but I so believe in it. And I have personally known incredible therapists that help people become free every day. And it is a beautiful thing. And the beautiful side of what is the transformation that I talk about in that video, The Tale of Two Scorpios. Don't be afraid. Doesn't matter how old you are. Don't be afraid and don't live bonded, controlled, and chained or shackled by a monster. Get rid of your nightmares and get rid of those people in your life. Scorpio is the horror film. It is those vampires and those Frankensteins and those people that scare us to death. It is my final nightmare after uncovered during psychotherapy was actually the coldest fear, that last nightmare, I woke and sat up in bed during that nightmare. It felt like the breaking of the shattering of ice, the cold fear. It was profound. And I have never, ever, ever had another nightmare like I had. I'll tell you, they were nightmares of being raped and different scenes. And they were all through my life. That started when I was a teenager. Little glimpses into this being chased and these horrible things that happened. And they were the keys and the truth about what happened a long, long time ago when I was a child. So I want to talk to you about where Scorpio is in your birth chart and what can happen and what that process can unlock. And I'm encouraging you to please pick up the phone and call for help. The freedom that comes is the power and strength that is Scorpio. So if you have your three keys in Scorpio, you are definitely engaged in something that's deep and transformative. You have encountered or will encounter a power struggle. If you were born November 1971 until January 1995, yes. And those of you born in 2008 that are too young to be participating in this, another cycle began that's often about home and property, land and security. But, sorry, I'm getting sick. There's some bad. I'm getting bombarded with some dark radiation. I'll try to do this quickly. If Scorpio is in your 12th house or your first house in your astrology chart, there's another side of you. You've got a dark side and you're hiding something. Hopefully you're not the perpetrator, but it's possible. You've got some major power and control issues. If this is in your second or eighth house, you're in that struggle about sex and money, and there are secrets and there's major control issues going on in your life. You can contact me and ask for just a Scorpio reading, especially if you're Scorpio Taurus or if your sun, moon, and rising sign are in Scorpio. It's time to dig your shovel in the dirt and out this junk. If your Scorpio is in your third house or ninth house, your dark side has to do with your mouth and the things that you say and the control you try to wield and the power that you try to control over other people. And it's also possible that you go somewhere and do these deep, dark, scorpionic things and that nobody knows about. Again, if it's in the second and eighth house, you're hiding money or family secrets or a secret sex life. If it's, again, in your 12th or first house, you've got a very dark side that you're not letting the world see, and you'd be so ashamed if they knew about. If it's in your 4th or 10th house, that dark side happens behind closed doors, under the covers and in the bedroom that nobody knows about, and you could be arrested for what's going on in your house. And this is sexual crime, and it's the bedroom and the boardroom in this case. So you could be that employer like Weinstein or Epstein that's doing really dark things. Or you could be expecting favors or having another life at your work life that nobody knows about, that you could be arrested for, or that you would be so embarrassed and ashamed of. So when it's in your 5th and 11th house, your dark side has to do with kind of cultish groups that involve drugs, crime, and sex. And or you're getting power surges and feeling in control if you are that person that's the dancer that's getting sexual thrills and money for something that's clandestine, or the guy that owns the strip club or the porn shop or whatever. You're finding some kind of power and control over others and you're making money off of that black trade. So, Scorpio's dark. I'm not kidding you. But here at Three Keys Astrology, you can come to me and start the process of taking a good hard look at where that is, and then make that next phone call to finally end it once and for all. You will feel so free, and you'll be looking at the other side of Scorpio. So now that you've finished this video, guys, I want you to have healthy, happy lives. Scorpio will be sexually transmitted disease. It will be that rotten bladder and sexual organs and cancers of your sexual organs. It will. You can't get away with it. Don't play with the darkness. It's bad. And I mean with your mouth, with your attitude, with your, if you think that you're so powerful and you boss other people around, you're partaking in the dark side. I don't want any of this for you. Don't be all drugged up, and don't be drunk, and don't be controlled by anybody or anyone because you're too afraid and you don't have enough money. Three Keys Astrology wants you to be free. And Scorpio, be on the good side of Scorpio. Be that cop. Be that therapist. Be that forensic scientist that brings light to the criminal matter and stops these people that try to control you and overpower you. I hope this for you. Thank you for tuning in and joining me. Come on over to threekeysastrology.com and order your readings and end the darkness once and for all. Don't be any part of it. It's better to live in a room in a one. It's better for you to get out of where you're at. Live in one room to set yourself free and start all over. You don't need stuff. Don't let anybody chain you or bond you or bound you so that your spirit's crushed. I love you guys. I've experienced and seen lots of beautiful transformations in my 58 years, and I want you to feel free. It's nice not to be drunk. It's nice not to be drugged. It's nice to wake up in the morning so excited about the work that you're doing or the life you've been given. Don't spend it all drunk and hungover and a mess. It's no way to live. It's no way to live. I bartended for a lot of years to raise my 3 children, and I saw people in all kinds of transformative stages, and my heart would cry. I've seen people that committed suicide and bit their fingernails to the razor's edge, so destroyed and distraught. Don't live like that. I've seen some of the sweetest people be clobbered by others who want to control them. And I had a nightmare of a boyfriend after I got divorced who was very dark and very scorpionic and physically violent and mentally disturbed. And I was afraid for a long time, and I'm not anymore. And I don't want you ever to be either. And I've spoken about this before. I was the Taurus, he was the Scorpio. And in that dynamic of sex and control, I met somebody that was so dark that I had no idea. And he chose me. I didn't choose him. I was not attracted to him to begin with. And he came into my life like a force that was unbelievable. And at 24 years old with 2 little girls, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And so don't be afraid. And it's not your fault. Don't be afraid. Get out. So I want you to have a very happy life. We've all got 3 major keys, our sun, our moon, and our rising sign. And those 3 things will set you free. They are the power of your astrology. They're the power within you that is part of your mind, your body, and your soul. You can walk away, and you can unlock doors, and you can never, ever. What happens through that transformative process is all of a sudden you're not naive. And all of a sudden you're not blind. And all of a sudden you can't be controlled. And all of a sudden you're not the target or the radar for those that are criminally manipulative. They don't pick you anymore. You're not walking around with your head down. The transformative beauty of it that's described in A Tale of Two Scorpios is the mastery of, like black belt, the arts of self-defense. And it's knowing. I'm going to carry my car keys between my 3 fingers when I have to be out in the dark, because these are my weapons for those predators. And Scorpio is about the predator and the prey. Make no mistake. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do to empower yourself. And it's taking back that Scorpio in your chart, coming through that transformation of that M through the ups and downs of life to that final. I'm not controlled anymore. And you don't, it's having that power to say, back the fuck off. Who do you think you are? Don't you dare treat me or talk to me like that. And you guys will be amazed to see that that Frankenstein, that Dracula, that monster shrinks down to water. The water of the truth gets poured on him, and you're going to find in that bully and that monster a very big fraidy cat, someone who's so scared and so demented that it's an illusion, the power that he had over you. So you take care, have a really nice weekend. We are in Scorpio season. Go see my videos for this month and notice my weekly scopes and stay alert, stay smart. Danger is Scorpio. Manipulation is Scorpio. And anything malicious, malign, and malfeasance is Scorpio. And what it does to your health is necrotic. And it literally breaks you down and destroys your esteem, which starts to affect the cells in your body and your health. So live in the sunshine, be happy, and you take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay tuned. This is Lori, over and out from 3 Keys Astrology. Bye for now. Empower yourself. Get strong. Have those muscles and have that courage, because that too is very Scorpio. Scorpios are some of the strongest people in the zodiac. But it's bringing to light, getting rid of our shadows, our dark side, our secrets and shame, that we get really strong. And I want that for you. Take care. See you later, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye for now.